The Ryzen 7 9800X3D is the fastest CPU for gaming in the entire world. If you already have it, or maybe you want to buy one, which graphics card should you buy to pair with this Ryzen processor? The answer will depend on your budget and needs. So if you are looking for the perfect graphics card for you to pair with this Ryzen 7 9800X3D, you clicked the right video. I'll show you the best GPUs to pair with this Ryzen 7, going from the cheapest GPU to the best value one, also showing you the best one for esports games, the fastest one, and even more. The links for these graphics cards will be down below in the video description with the latest prices and availability in your region. My name is Valentino. That being said, let's start. First, we have the cheapest graphics card that I would pair with the Ryzen 7 9800X3D. This means that I wouldn't pair any graphics card that's lower tier than this one, because I do believe that in that case I recommend you downgrading the 9800X3D to a cheaper CPU and upgrading your graphics card for better performance in most games. Now, the cheapest graphics card I would pair with this Ryzen 7 is the RX 7800XT. This GPU is amazing when it comes to 1440p resolution gaming, and you can also play at 1080p very high FPS even in the most high demanding games, and that can also be set for 1440p resolution. Now, this one is also an amazing choice if you want the cheapest graphics card that you can get for esports games. Just keep in mind that some esports games work better with Nvidia depending on the settings, and that's why if you want the best value esports gaming graphics card to pair with this Ryzen 7 9800X3D, I recommend you going with the RTX 4070 Super, which is a beast of a graphics card for 1440p as well. So if you want to play both esports games and high demanding ones, well, you will be able to play high demanding titles at 1440p high to ultra settings, or even 4K resolution if you turn on the DLSS depending on the game. And when it comes to esports games, you can expect over 500 plus FPS on average in competitive settings in most esports titles like Valorant, CS2, Fortnite. So if you really want to compete in those type of games and you want a 540Hz 1080p monitor, or maybe a 1440p 480Hz, going with this graphics card is going to be perfect because it's not the most expensive GPU out there that you can pair with this Ryzen 7 CPU, so it's going to be an amazing choice. The price for this graphics card by the time of filming is around $599, but maybe when you're watching this video the price is different, and that's why I do recommend you checking the latest prices and availability from the links in the description. Now, if you want the best value gaming graphics card overall, not only for esports games but also for high demanding ones, I recommend you the next one on the list, which is the RX 7900XT. This GPU from AMD is one of the fastest graphics cards in the entire market, especially for 1440p resolution. If you want to play at 1440p, you can max out any game playing at 120 plus FPS on average in the most high demanding titles out there, 1440p high to ultra settings. And then you can also play at 4K with no issues, 70 plus FPS, and if you turn on FSR, which is the upscaler from AMD, you can expect closer to 90 plus FPS depending on the game and depending on the settings, so you can easily fit a 4K monitor. And since this graphics card has 20 gigs of VRAM, 4K is going to be perfectly fine. Now, this GPU is going for around $630, so it's only $30 more expensive than the 4070 Super, and it is going to be about 20% faster on average than the Nvidia GPU, and it has 8 gigs of VRAM more, which is going to be crucial for 4K resolution. Now, if you just want to play esports games, VRAM doesn't really matter, and going with Nvidia might be better depending on the game and depending on the settings, and that's where I recommend you going with the 4070 Super. But for the most part and for most people, going with the 7900XT is going to be much better value overall. And if you want the best value GPU overall, not only for gaming but also for content creation, productivity work, 3D rendering, and all that good stuff, then I recommend you getting the RTX 4070 Ti Super, because the 4070 Ti Super is going to work better for most content creation and productivity work applications. And since you get an Nvidia GPU, you get DLSS, which works much better than FSR. So if you are going to be playing with the upscaler on, then the 4070 Ti Super provides a better technology. Not only that, but it's also faster when it comes to ray tracing performance. So if you're interested in turning on ray tracing at 1440p high to ultra settings, or maybe at 4K, and you also want to turn on DLSS quality, then the 4070 Ti Super will provide better image quality and better performance. Keep in mind that this GPU goes for around $790 by the time of filming, which is about $150 more expensive than the 7900 XT, and will provide about the same level of rasterized performance. So if you want the best pure price to performance, then the 7900 XT is better, but if you want the best one overall, because you want to do more than just gaming, or you want to use the Nvidia technologies, then spending the extra is going to be worth it. And then if you want a high-end graphics card to pair with this Ryzen 7 9800X3D, you have two options. You can go with the RX 7900 XTX or the RTX 4080 Super. Just like I mentioned before with the difference between the 4070 Ti Super and the 7900 XT, well, the same thing happens here. Now, the 7900 XTX is the fastest graphics card from AMD, so if you get this GPU, you are getting the fastest GPU and CPU combo from AMD. And honestly, they work amazingly well together. You can play at 4K ultra settings with no issues, very high FPS even at 4K in these high demanding games. And if you want to play esports games, you can expect well over 480 plus FPS in most competitive titles, competitive settings at 4K. So feel free to buy a 480Hz 4K monitor. Now, the Nvidia GPU in the 4080 Super is about $100 more expensive, but it has all the Nvidia technologies that I've mentioned before. However, keep in mind that the RTX 5080 is coming soon. Now, we don't know the price for that GPU, and there are rumors that the price might be around $1,200 to $1,400, so it's going to be quite more expensive. That being said, if you don't want to spend over $1,000 US, you can get the 4080 Super right now or the 7900 XTX, but if you are willing to spend the extra for the new 5080, then I do recommend you waiting until that one comes out. Regardless, if you end up buying any of these graphics cards, you will be having an amazing 4K gaming experience, and you can also buy a 1440p monitor if you want a future-proof gaming graphics card alongside this 9800 X3D and you want to pull higher frame rates. And then the fastest graphics card that you can pair with the 9800 X3D is the RTX 4090, which is the fastest graphics card in the entire market overall, and you will be achieving very high frame rates at 4K. Now, you have to keep in mind that the RTX 5090 is coming soon and the 4090 is out of stock everywhere, and where you can find it in stock, the price is very high at around $2,500 USD, and it's crazy because for around $2,900 you can get a pre-built PC with the RTX 4090, which means that at the moment it's actually cheaper to buy a pre-built PC with the 4090 rather than building a PC yourself, which is not particularly common. And here I have the same recommendation for you. I do recommend you waiting until the 5090, but if you want a PC right now with the 4090, I recommend you going for a pre-built PC if you want better price to performance. And if you want to build it yourself to get that 9800 3D alongside the 4090, that's completely fine as well, because you can actually return the RTX 4090 when the 5090 comes out to get a full refund. However, that's going to depend on the refund policy on the exact RTX 4090 that you buy. And if you have a different budget and you want a new gaming PC, I do recommend you watching my video on the best gaming PC builds for every budget and every resolution. You will find that one in the middle of the screen, and you will find a pre-built PC video as well in case you do not want to build it yourself. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.